All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to season 2 of Athletics for Life podcasts. On this show, we like to discuss just about anything sports related and the lessons that can be learned through sports. In season 1, we had a ton of great guests, athletic directors, coaches, former alumni, and we're looking to build upon that for season 2.
Yeah, definitely. We had, the whole impact of the pandemic almost forced us to have 26 podcasts. It was great. We learned so much from all these different people from all over the world. Then the lessons learned through sports is super important, but also the lessons learned through the podcast for us is super important. So this year is season 2, and we are very excited for season 2. And we are having a few special shows that we try to make for you all this year. And CD, why don't you start talking about one of our shows? Introduce it.
Sure. One thing that we're going to try this year is just traveling through Asia. We've been locked in Mongolia, haven't really been able to travel as much as we'd like for sports or for personal pleasure. So we decided to take the podcast and use this as an opportunity to do a little bit of traveling and kind of focus on picking out athletic directors in different countries around Asia, seeing what their programs are like. Is it, big school, small school? What's the culture like there? What sports do they play? How big are their conferences? What's travel like? How was the COVID pandemic in their country, in their region? And I think in doing so, we'll be able to get a much better perspective on the challenges that people have faced, how different many of the programs are, depending on which country maybe potential future athletic directors might go and work. But then I think the most important thing is, a lot of the similarities that we have. It doesn't really matter what country you're in. We're going to have a lot of the same challenges we face and a lot of the same there's going to be a lot of similarities. I feel like that's what I expect. We'll see though.
Yeah, and one thing that COVID brought us, a lot of tough times, but also an opportunity for connections. Sometimes you feel very isolated in the country you're working at. I know we do sometimes here in Mongolia. So having like-minded people that you can share your experiences with, that you can learn from, or they are doing this in their program. That's something I could do. And you can learn from big schools, small schools, different ADs from all over the world. We had a few on the podcast last year. And after every interview, I walk away with new ideas. Not all of them work for me or for the school, but a lot of them do work. So trying to, pick their brains and steal their best ideas is what it's all about. So it brought people closer. The connections are easier. And something that I learned from young in this business is to learn from people who have way more experience, are way more knowledgeable than you are. So this is a perfect time to do that. So different ADs will bring different things, and we are just guiding you through Asia to learn from them and to see what the difference we have, like you said, and just to learn from each other. It's easier. We don't have to get any visas. We don't have to pay for planes or not wear a mask on the plane this year. So it feels like a little bit of a holiday. We're going out and about in Asia. So if you are looking as an athletic director and you would like to share something with us and the community, please reach out. We're happy to come along to your country and to hear about your school, the things you do, and learn from you. So we're very excited about that. We're going to Korea first. And then we're going to move along to see which flight is next available for us. We have more content coming up.
Yeah, we're also one thing that we really enjoyed with season 1 is
definitely
our Alumni Series, where we interview alumni from our schools that have graduated and moved on, whether they are currently in college or having come back from university or perhaps doing something else in their lives entirely. And we just chat with them kind of about their experience. What do they remember? What sticks out to them? What lessons kind of help them in the next step in their life? And kind of how are they continuing to grow? So that's something that I'm looking forward to continuing with in season 2. and just getting some more alumni on,
Yeah.
pick their brains a little bit.
And definitely the Alumni Series is something that is always good to see the impact of your school and the programs on the kids, the memories they have, and hopefully they want to be on our podcast. That means we've done something right. But we don't only want to interview our own alumni. There's so many alumni in the world. So if you have someone interesting, but even as an AD, come on with your alumni and chat with us. It's always to hear from different cultures, different countries, different experiences. So yeah, we definitely want to invite other ADs and their alumni to come on our podcast and to share their stories. It will be a little bit, I think, in the future more difficult as this pandemic has an impact. So the alumni from the last 2 years, they had less sports, less travel, a different experience. So we might look into that to talk to those kids, how it has impacted them. It has impacted everybody in a big way, but not only negative, but also positive, right? The interviews we had last year, a lot of the people had a lot of good things coming out of it too. So we're looking to interview those kids. How did they remember the school, the programs, or maybe something else we've done with them? Something good, a conversation, or whatever it is. So we're definitely going out to contact our alumni to see how they're doing. Many of our alumni are going back overseas, which is a good thing. Some of them were locked up in Mongolia for a while. So actually, we hope to have less on Zoom and more of less in person. I mean here in the studio, and more on Zoom, which means they're back where they should be. So very excited about that. And lastly, we are going to try to have more content with specialists. CD.
Yeah, we had some great specialists on the podcast in season 1. We had a few athletic trainers. We had Richard Young, who dealt with high achievers, not necessarily an athletic director, but somebody who's definitely in the world of sports. Brett Jones was Strong First, talking about kettlebells. And I think in season 2, kind of having those unique guests on to kind of mix it up once in a while that maybe aren't in the international school setting is something that can be beneficial, right? They have something to offer as well.
Yeah, definitely. And, for Jason Avalar, for example, talk about his PE program back in California. So different people in the world of sports. We even had the former representative of UNICEF here on the podcast. So see the perspective from these people. And there's always something you can learn from them. It's interesting to hear their stories and to get inspired by these kind of people. I'm always humbled by these people that they want to be on the podcast, that they want to talk to these 2 guys up in Mongolia to share their story, which is awesome. So we will continue to seek and to find these people and to ask them to share their stories with all of you. And we're very excited about season 2. We hope we can provide some good content for everyone on a bi-weekly or monthly basis. And we're very excited about season 2, and we hope you too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And as Jeff mentioned, we are still up in the air about whether we will be once every 2 weeks or once a month. I don't know if you can hear the echo, but I'm currently sitting in an empty classroom as we're getting ready for school to start. So a lot's going to depend on kind of how COVID impacts the school year and how much time Jeff and I, how much time we have for the podcasts. So it might be once every 2 weeks. It might be once a month, but we will be interviewing a bunch of guests and bringing those to you.
Yeah, and definitely. And before we start, sorry, CD, we got to thank our sponsor, College Pro. Get to College Pro. We will get some new shirts in, some new merchandise, and they just are very helpful. And again, our director of editing, everything, who is the man of mystery, the magician, Scott Lillis, who is able to make us look great on camera, which is a big miracle. So he will work with us this year again to make sure that the podcast look nice, that everything is smooth, and that it's easy to watch online. We will continue to timestamp all the podcasts. So if there are sections that you don't really are interested in, just skip and just go to the sections that are more for you, because there's something for everyone. But please like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. And there's more things to come from us. We are just here it's more of a hobby, to learn from everyone and to share. We're not in it to make tons of money, which would be awesome, CD, so we could do something else. But now we're just here to learn from people and to share. And the amount of connections that we've gained through this podcast is already incredible. And I feel that the world is getting a bit smaller for us. We're sometimes locked up here up in Mongolia, and all these people helping us out. So just very humbled and very happy to do that. And I'm very excited, CD, to work again with you, to have a great year.
Yeah. So if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe wherever you are getting this. And we'll see you.
Enjoy season 2, everyone.